Welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting to my left. And, I think, left. That's left. At least for us. It's right for them. Yeah. But, we're going to talk wrestling, talk a little bit of MLW, some Ring of Honor, whatever else comes up.
Pat Patterson.
All that good stuff. So, here we go. Well, let's jump right off with Pat. Okay. So, what's your favorite Pat Patterson memory, or do you have any?
Literally, I had none until about 2 days ago. I started watching a lot of his matches because Nation of Africa Facebook had put up like what was his finish, and there were some let's just say jokes that some people might get mad about.
Yeah.
But I was legit looking for his finisher. I never did find anything. I even went to Wikipedia, because he was a bad guy a lot of times. He would just use a foreign object. And the good guys, when I saw him working as a good guy, he used like an inside cradle and schoolboy. So it was either foreign object or inside cradle or schoolboy.
Well, I know what his finish was.
What was it?
It was a double reverse Fernum.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea.
All right.
But I was listening to Bruce Pritchard, and he said that's what Pat won the Intercontinental title with. And
the tournament that didn't happen? Yeah.
In Brazil, he beat the guy with a double reverse Fernum.
That's an imaginary move because there was an imaginary tournament that never happened.
So if you know what the Fernum is, Pat's was a double reverse.
Scared of what you may have just said, and we don't even know what it means.
So yeah, double reverse Fernum was his finisher. So learning something new on Ego on Break.
All right, I don't know what the hell that means.
Yeah, I don't either. No, I think his finish was like Ray Stevens. He used the knee drop off the top. So did Pat do something
watched
similar?
One of their tag matches, and it looked like Pat was holding the guy down, and he was on his stomach, and Ray Stevens gave him the knee off the top. And I'd always heard all this legendary about these guys working, and I was just like, I don't get it.
Well, you got to put yourself in.
I understand. I
1972,
understand. I tried. I still don't get it. But it wasn't a bad match. It was just a basic.
Was his finisher not like the sleeper or something?
Honest to God, I don't know. I really don't. I tried looking it up. I watched like 6 matches, and the match he had, oh God, what was it? I can't remember the federation, but it's him and Ted DiBiase, and they're fighting over a belt. And he literally reaches in the front of his tights, pulls out a brass or whatever hell he has, and Ted and the ref's like, what the hell happened? So,
Hands of stone.
I get to do that this weekend. So.
Yeah, so my real memories of Pat is probably like most people our age or my age is Stooge.
No, the Stooge, yeah.
Yeah, so
him and Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's good to remember him as or what. But he was like a hardcore champion, like at age 59 or something, and doing evening gown matches with Gerald Briscoe. So
and I know he was known for singing "My Way" and doing karaoke.
Yep.
So
condolences to Pat's
I know he was
friends, family.
The guy that called a lot of the finishes and come up with the Royal Rumble.
Said he was the best finish man in the business. Yep. And the Royal Rumble idea was his. So, and who knows what else was his idea. So
no telling.
Yep. Definitely sucks.
It is what it is. Here lately, man, they dropping like flies.
It happens for sure. I mean, death's something that we can't get away from, So, no real good transition. So we'll just jump off Pat and into MLW. And have you watched any of the restart?
Yes, I have. The first showing, I've missed one because they started the tournament, and I've seen the second one.
Okay. Did you watch the actual restart episode?
Yes, that's the one I saw. Okay. Because of that Davey Boy versus
Fatu.
That match was pretty good.
Yep, pretty good. I agree. The Contra stuff is good. We got to see the Black Hand of Contra.
Who
do you think it is?
a big guy in a red beard. It looks like Rowan.
Could be.
I don't know if it is, I swear, but it's got the red beard, and it's literally one of the masks I used that come from like an army surplus store is where it come from, and that thing's hot as hell, so I feel bad for it and wearing it. Otherwise, I wore it once, and that was all I could handle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We saw Myron Reed defeat Brian Pillman on that episode, right?
Yeah, what a bad match.
I thought it was pretty good. And we saw Hammerstone destroy someone.
Some poor kid, man, murdered him.
I like how Hammerstone's now babyface for some reason.
Because he works internet a lot.
I saw the second episode. I did not see the very end of the match. I don't know who won between Tom Lawler and Rocky Romero. Okay. Tom won.
I know the winner. I just didn't see the show. I missed it somehow.
TJP and Richard Holiday had a fire match.
I saw some really highlights from it. They look good.
And got to see, I think there was one more match on there.
That was the Tank guy.
Yeah, the Calvin Tankman versus Robert Martyr.
How was that?
Squash.
I mean, I figured. Well, how was Tankman? Because I've never seen the guy work. Is it somebody you book?
Yeah, he's a big guy. Let's just say he's shaped like Dusty Rhodes. But he works a cruiserweight style. So there was things he did in the match, like where he was like no selling stuff, and I'm like, you don't look like the type of guy that can no sell stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that turned me off a little bit. I'm like, I wish you would at least like registered it instead of trying to be like, I'm the baddest man on the planet when you do cool stuff, but you're probably not the baddest man on the planet.
Gotcha.
But again, that might be what he was told to do. I don't know. So
it's possible. I'm gonna go
overall, I'm a fan of his. I think he does some really cool stuff.
So is the show worth watching?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The way I understand, they're pushing him as like the new evolution of heavyweights or something. So that's pretty cool.
So kind of like a fat Mike Awesome.
Yeah, I can say that.
Well, you saw Mike Awesome do shit he shouldn't have been able to do.
He's on the lines of a Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was a big dude that did stuff he probably shouldn't be doing. And I mean, there's guys that's been doing it forever, so it's not nothing new, but it's just a new presentation. Okay. You'll probably like him. He reminds me a little bit of Willie Mack, just based on like his size. He's probably a little bigger than Willie Mack, but overall pretty good. So now I haven't seen the episode now of MLW, like whatever's coming up.
No,
but I know
that's
like
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what, like Myron Reed is supposed to wrestle Leo Rush.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But did you see Loki versus British Bulldog?
I did not see that.
That match was amazing. Like their first match was really good. This is better than that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen this episode. Like whatever, I've seen the first episode and whatever's after that.
I don't want to spoil it for you who wins, but
you can. I probably won't watch it.
Loki.
Okay.
But basically, he did the favor for him going out.
Yeah.
And then I can't think of who wrestled in the other one. I'm on blank. I swear I did.
Okay.
But
yeah,
it's another tournament guy. It's another tournament match. That's why I was trying to think of it.
I have no idea. I didn't pay attention.
Oh, it's ACH versus one of the Mexican guys. And ACH looked like he got really frustrated in this match.
Laredo Kid.
That's what it was, yeah. And I don't know if ACH really got hurt in this match, but I think he may have hurt his hip.
Okay.
And it looked like it because every time he would land on his butt/back, it looked like he was registering some real pain.
I bet he was.
So, but he literally looked like he was frustrated as hell in this match. So I don't know what was going on, but you could just tell something wasn't mixing.
All right. Yeah, I'm surprised they gave him a second chance because he debuted once and then like quit. So I'm surprised they gave him a second chance.
So
I'm glad because I'm a fan of ACH. I think he's a top guy for sure.
I think it's going to be ACH and Tom Lawler.
Okay.
And then Loki and Richard Holiday, which I'm really more interested in that one.
Who's your pick to win?
I think they're going to go with Loki if I had to take a guess. If not, maybe ACH.
I'm voting Holiday.
I think Holiday would be a way to go, but I just don't know if they're going to do it.
Yeah. I think he's my pick.
I think it's going to come out like the Dynasty is going to be like a face team. I really do.
Did you see that Gino is not in the Dynasty?
Yeah. And he's actually more heel than they are.
Yeah.
So I could see that being a heel group against the Dynasty as faces. Because Holiday's just a jerk. He isn't exactly a bad guy,
Yeah.
but he's like a rich jerk.
He's a snob.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, whatever.
But when at the end of the match, it was a Fatu and somebody for the title, and Hammerstone comes out to make the save, and when he did, I don't know who the hell the little country guy was out there, but he knocked
punched him out.
It looked hard. I was like, ooh, I feel bad for you.
Make it count, you know.
Yeah, he made it count and then some. And then that was really the end of the show.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Rocky Romero was in the Pure Wrestling Tournament and in the Opera Cup.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think MLW did a better job of like selling the fact that he was in it. Like, you know, they're like New Japan sent their longest reigning American wrestler and blah blah blah, and you know, such and such Japanese magazines here covering it and this and that. Like, they really made it feel bigger. So I thought that was kind of cool. But you know, so it is what it is.
But you don't think they're just doing Hammerstone like he's basically taking Davey Boy's spot?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's going to become the muscled up babyface.
He's improved and he's huge now.
My only, and I mean, this is my fuss against all wrestling, is there's no bad guy, good guy anymore, and I really hate that.
I don't know. With Contra, there's a bad guy.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, but now tomorrow they could be baby faces. I mean, like the Dynasty was heels, then we come back and they're babies, and
I ain't gonna say they're complete babies.
Yeah,
they're
pushing. They're making saves and stuff. They're babies. You know.
I can't remember who made the save on. That's what's driving me nuts. I don't remember who Fatu fought. But I mean, I have no problem. I think Hammerstein is going to make probably a better face than he would have.
Well, I mean, I think he's talented enough to go either way. I think Holiday, same thing with him. I'm a big Holiday fan, so.
It would be
Dick Holiday.
New version of the Lex Express with his American punch.
Yeah. That's funny. Have you watched any Ring of Honor since the last time we talked?
Watched the last episode.
I've seen the episode before that. I'm like one episode behind.
So what was on that one?
I don't remember.
A lot of help.
Yeah. I really don't remember. Let me think. Yeah. Oh well. This has been horrible. So it was a good episode. I really wish I could remember who was in it.
I can't remember.
And if you jog my memory, I could probably tell you all about the matches, but I don't remember.
I have to go to Fight TV to look.
Yeah, do that. But I know coming up, John Walters makes his debut. Mike Bennett makes his debut on the same episode. So that's pretty cool.
Who's he gonna fight? Do you know?
Which one?
Mike Bennett.
Vincent, maybe. Or
okay.
Yeah, I think. So I don't remember.
You're so much help.
I mean, it's been a long week, so a long 2 weeks. So let's see what we can find.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Shane Taylor, Brody Lee. That was the main event. That match was really, really good. I dig how both men are these bigger guys, and they're having They did. They had a heck of a match, and I thought I was surprised at the finish.
Yeah,
I'll
I agree with you on that.
I thought Brody King was going to win, and he didn't. I'm not disappointed in it. I just thought Brody King was going to win for some reason.
And then Josh the Good Woods versus
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
Man, this was a pretty cool match too.
I love the part where he's looking down at Lethal and he's smiling, and Lethal goes, "Do you think this is funny?" He goes, "Hell no, I think it's sad. You're supposed to be the legendary Jay Lethal." And Lethal gets up and starts whooping the hell out of him.
That's a pretty cool spot. So yeah, they did a little interview or whatever backstage with the foundation.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I was like, who was the guy in the octopus mask? And then
when you found out, was you surprised?
Yeah, well, there was like, Rhett Titus or whatever, and I'm a huge Rhett fan, so I was happy that was him. But he was like, no, leave the mask on. I'm like, well, was Rhett not here today and somebody's taking his
it's really
place?
him. They did a deal I saw on Instagram, and he took the mask off, showing it was him.
So, yeah, I dig the fact it's Rhett Titus. So,
but now it's 4 members of the
foundation.
Yep. I
And,
hope they did go with it somewhere.
and I dig that they're letting Jonathan Gresham kind of be the face of it. So, I mean, you would think, probably would be Jay Lethal, but
I think it's kind of
it is. But I think just for the fact that he won the pure title and stuff, I think they're like, hey, let's build this newer guy. Let's not depend on the guys we've always had. They're already made.
his promo isn't bad. It's way better than it used to be.
Yeah.
So I was impressed with that.
I dig it when it's him kind of encountered by himself because he looks bigger. And then when you get him in the group, he's smaller.
Yeah,
So I like his promos without anybody else in it.
4, I think.
Something, I don't know.
Well, he's my mom's height, and that's not very high.
I think like he made a few loops through Mississippi, and I think he wrestled under like Smurf.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't he trained by Mr. Hughes?
Yep.
Or at his school, I should say.
And that's the reason he was making loops around here is because there's a few promotions that Mr. Hughes have trained the guys that are running it, and
he's Jordan Grace's husband.
Yep.
I think I said that right.
You did.
Okay.
So overall, Ring of Honor was pretty cool.
Yes.
I definitely am still digging the.
They still got me better than anybody right now. NWA has a new show coming out.
Okay.
They did their first show. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but it's not Power. It's under something else.
Really?
And
Well, I guess Power was like the studio wrestling, so maybe.
I guess they can't do it right now.
So
and
they're gonna just
I
hold
know
off on it.
I'd read an article where Aldous said he was still wanting, Power. He's like, well, we have a niche group there. People are wanting it.
It was catching on for sure. I really enjoyed most of the stuff I saw.
I could have done without the, drug your woman stuff that they had in the background. But
Yeah.
That again, if you had left comedy out of the crap, I'd have been fine with it. Who do you think was going to be a star out of there? I mean, they took what the hell's the guy went to AEW?
Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks has showed his ass in AEW. I mean, if anybody's come a star, it's definitely Ricky Starks.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was reading somewhere today that Brian Pillman's working.
He just became the OVW champion.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep. And he also was teaming up with the guy in AEW they teamed with last time, the
Garrison.
Yeah, Griff Garrison, and they have a name.
Wow.
Like
They didn't do nothing with them.
Like Varsity Sweethearts or something. I don't remember what the name. Varsity Blondes or something maybe.
But it's like AEW has no idea what to do with him, and that was my big knock on him. I was like, well, how is it? All these places that have him, like they see something in him, and AEW's got him on dark, and they're not pushing the stuff about his dad, and you got all these people with connections to his father, and they're not even playing off it. I was like, that's just so stupid. And he's as good an athlete as his dad, I think.
I mean, I definitely think he's got something to build off of.
Yeah,
again, still relatively new in terms of wrestling.
it's like 3 years, I think.
But I mean, he's got the look. He's got enough skill. He can definitely follow if you got somebody out there leading him. So I mean, overall, I got no complaints with Brian Pillman. He's the guy I'd love to have on an event.
Is that who it was? Brian Pillman and Fatu? Or somebody. I can't remember who the hell Fatu
I don't
fought.
know.
Anyway.
I don't know where you were going with that. So.
Sorry, I don't understand like how AEW doesn't know what to do with him, but they don't know what to do with a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's just they're getting so many people, and they have. I'm sure everybody kind of sits around and does it, but like I know Tony Khan's like AEW Dark is kind of his baby. He does a lot of the booking and stuff like that, so he's doing something. And then you got Cody and them doing something, and you got somebody else doing
The
something.
big draw this week is, guess who's going to be on the show? Shaq. Because ain't that what you want to see on wrestling, Shaq?
I mean, I popped when Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone was on.
wrestler, basketball player.
I mean, I popped for Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone, so why not
But at least
Shaq?
they were still playing basketball. Shaq ain't played in years.
Yeah, but he's got those.
He's going to wrestle.
Those
too.
general commercials. So if the general doesn't show up to help Shaq out, I'm gonna be so disappointed in the general.
Yeah, I could see them selling a computer animation.
What would be really cool is like if the general drove a tank like up on the screen and fired a shot, and then like somebody like hit Cody with a t-shirt cannon or something.
Don't give them no ideas. They might do it.
Yeah, so that I'm saying if Cody wrestles Shaq, I'm gonna say Cody wins by DQ after the general shoots a t-shirt out of a cannon and hits Cody with it.
One last question. Sting's coming out for a multi-year contract with AEW. Do you say he comes back as a manager or a wrestler? He's been put on the roster, so I'm assuming wrestler.
I'm going to say
turn into a manager, don't you think?
I'm going to say he's going to play the role of both.
Yeah, that's what
I think he's going to be more of a mentor coach type thing.
But is it good or is it bad? Because to me, they haven't done anything really, but with Jericho and Dean Ambrose, which is Moxley, that's the only two they've really done anything with that has worked somewhat. Do you think they'll knock it out of the ballpark with Sting, or you think they're just going to hit they're going to bun it?
I think you're going to get like a line drive. I think what's going to happen is Sting's going to come in, do some little something, do whatever, mentor somebody, build a big angle, go out, one big match, and have a real match with someone.
Jericho is what everybody's pushing.
I hope not. And not that I wouldn't want to see it, because I think
I want to see
cool.
it, but I don't think that's where they need to go to right now.
I mean, I would love to see...
I say him and Darby Allin as a tag team for right now.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think it would be super cool if they built to something with like Lance Archer or Lance Archer with Jake. So you got Jake and the Sting, and there's history there.
Well, they're doing something with Jake and him against Eddie and his group right now.
Okay,
and it looks actually good because like Jake took a bump the other night from Eddie. So.
I just think it'd be super cool, like if like Archer could go out there and work his butt off, bump all day for Sting. You got some cool promos and stuff and interviews and whatever with back and forth with Jake. There's history there. I think
you could even have him do a tag match with him and Darby against Jake and him.
Well, I'm just
saying, if you wanted to do, because Jake said he wanted to do one last match, and imagine that tag team against each other. That'd be a cool way to go out for Jake.
Well, for Sting or all of them.
Well, I'm just saying, I know Sting's probably got way more matches, and Jake's pretty messed up. So, but he could promo.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're using the old timers right. I think that's the best thing about AEW is some of the legends they're using as coaches and whatever. I mean, you got Arn with the Nightmare Family. You got Tully with his guys. You got Taz with his guys. You got Jake with Archer. I mean,
Dustin.
Dustin's there. I mean, you got a lot of cool guys out there. Now you got Sting. If he's partnering up with Darby, which is pretty cool. Bring back,
they said
Vampiro and Moody.
When he come in to make the save, like he was looking Darby in his eyes, and they said you could see tears rolling out Darby's eyes, like it was real emotional.
Yeah, I bet so.
But
not every day Sting comes and looks you in the face.
No, exactly. The last part I want to talk to you about AEW is how do you feel about them intertwining with Impact? Because supposedly tonight,
boom! I'm like, come on!
They're going to have Mr. Bang Bang Bang.
I thought
Omega on Impact tonight.
Amazing.
And funny enough, Triple H is now open to working with other customers or other companies. My bad.
Well, now
I just thought it was funny.
People do say that, but I say that
AEW is trying something different.
I also say that WWE has already done that. Triple H has already done these things with other companies in small amounts. And I think the reason he's up for it, but you won't see this, because Vince is like, there's only WWE.
But they used to do the NWA stuff, and they used to do.
I mean, they do
boxers versus wrestlers.
Well, they did it with AAA and stuff. Like you would, like when they did the Rumble and stuff. So they did it. But also, I mean, just here recently in the last couple of years, I mean, they had Liger at NXT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then they did the stuff with Evolve. I mean, I know they basically, ate up Evolve, and it became just another part of NXT, but Triple H was sending NXT wrestlers to Evolve. So I mean, he was already, and again, there's a lot of crap he catches and he deserves, but this I think was just an internet meme, like Like, he was already doing these things before anybody else.
But I'm just saying,
But now they're
willing to work with people now.
And I think you have to give the credit to Impact, because Impact is the one that was like, hey, let's start using this. Let's do it. Like,
And they built up to it for a long time with the Jackal. So I thought that was really cool.
So yeah, that was pretty awesome. I mean, I popped huge for it. Was not expecting it, because why would you?
I thought Omega would take the belt. I did.
Yeah, I called that.
But I didn't know that that's how he would take it.
Right.
Because they've been doing that push with him,
Yeah.
as they call it. But I didn't think the push
this was
really
something
that
I think
great,
AEW did great. Was they had already put Don Callis out there on camera, a couple months back or whatever,
Yep.
and let people know who he is and why he's there.
They're friends with him and Omega.
No, supposedly his nephew.
I've heard as
But I
a
don't know
real
how.
or
I
as a
have no idea.
BS, And I figured it was just because he knew Jericho when they were working in Japan, and Jericho did the Omega feud, and there was a connection to me right there.
Well, Callis also did commentary in Japan too.
I mean,
so,
'cause he was responsible for Jericho coming to Japan.
so who knows? But
there's a lot of connections.
very, very cool. I mean, they've already had the NWA Women's Champion on there, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
And I saw some people going, what if you now got FTR versus the North? Like, they were talking about potential bookings from each company.
That would be super cool.
Yeah.
But now I think FTR is going to be the two guys with EC3 in Ring of Honor. Because think about this. All right. Impact is working with AEW. AEW has worked with NWA. NWA is working with Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Impact was working with Ring of Honor.
Because Bennett just wrestled Aldis on their first show.
So, like, could you think, like, remember when Vince was going national, whatever, and you had, like, Mid-South and, like, AWA and a couple other, like, trying to make, like, this one super company or whatever? Like, in reality, like, I don't think anybody could touch Vince, touch WWE right now, but do you know how cool it would be to have these 5?
But actually, right now might be the one time you could knock him on his ass, because nobody's doing house shows and stuff like that.
True. But just these 5 companies coming together and making a territory, like, how crazy would that be if you had Ring of Honor, NWA, AEW, Impact, all these guys being a territory? Oh man, like, how exciting that could be.
Their named wrestlers aren't what they don't have a Hulk Hogan, they don't have a Rock.
No, because he's
they can
built
say
that.
Roman and Drew all they want, but their name is not as valuable as Cena or The Rock or Stone Cold.
Well, even Cena wasn't what The Rock was.
Oh no, never. Not even close.
But I mean, Vince set out to make WWE the star. That way, if somebody held him up for money or whatever.
Was that good or was that bad?
For him, good. For longevity, probably bad. But the fact that he can sell out WrestleMania without ever telling anybody who's there, that's amazing. I mean, he doesn't have to have.
I'm not that guy because I ain't watched in 2 years.
Well, I'm just saying, I ain't never been to WrestleMania, but
I agree, and I mean, I could have went twice.
Just the fact that he can say he don't even say wrestling. WWE's coming to town, and it sells out.
Not always, but sometimes.
I mean, major stuff. When they want it to sell out, it sells out.
Last time it sold out here in Mississippi, they had CM Punk still there. That tells you the last time they sold out. I would always go because I would always like to take notes about what they do in their show at a house show compared to us at a indie show. Like, what are we missing? We can't do certain things because they got a buttload of money and we have back pocket promotions. And that was all you can really work with. But I always did like to see, like, what is a little thing we might could twist on our show, maybe at a lesser value, but to give our show a little more value.
Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff going on. I'm excited for what wrestling is. And where it's going. Just, again, the thought of potentially having, like, this national territory again, like, I'm on board. Like, let's see what happens.
We can never get this lovely virus out of the way. I think everything can get back to normal, and I think we're going to have bigger houses than we ever had in a long time.
Yeah, because people are ready.
Oh, yeah. People are so bored, man. They did a in-town football game the other day, and our governor, he's being, what he's being, but supposedly all these people weren't supposed to show. These people just went to a high school game. Bro, you all see the crowd.
Yeah, but now
because they're about to go insane.
The high school game was also